My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
It's the Al Travis Show, quickly becoming one of our favorites on the program. She is Senator Heather Gustafson. Senator, do you remember it a little over a year ago, because you were pushing that bill for Inspector General? How did we get hooked up? I don't even remember. It's been a while. Do you?
Yeah. So it passed 60-7 in the Senate, and then it went over to the House. It did unfortunately not get heard on the House floor.
No, you didn't. How did you and I meet to get you on this program? Do you remember? It was a little over a year ago, because the whole year we've been pushing for your bill, this Inspector General bill. I don't remember how, but I'm glad you came across us.
Yeah, I feel like Hoffman probably introduced us.
Yeah, he does that a lot. He's strange that way. He's doing well, by the way. Thank you for bringing that up. I just texted him back and forth. Still going through a lot of stuff, a lot of surgeries, that sort of thing. We will get him back on. He's part of the reason I'm really ticked off today, but I'm not going to talk about that. I love when I get a senator on, or one of my muckety mucks come on here, and they're the front page of the news today. You were talking about your OIG, Office of Inspector General report, I guess with KSTP yesterday. Thanks for not doing it here, by the way. I'm just kidding. That's just what you're saying. You got it passed with 60 players in the Senate. Yeah. This was not a partisan thing whatsoever. Everybody knew this was a good bill. We pushed it on the show, and yet the House wouldn't even take it up for a vote. How infuriating is that, especially seeing what's gone on here with the last couple of frauds we've seen? We'll talk about those. Go ahead.
And people are fed up. I'm fed up. I'm angry. Mm-hmm. I'm frustrated, especially knowing that the bill that we would have been able to, that we passed in the Senate would have been the most significant anti-fraud fighting bill in probably since we created the OLA. So it was really disappointing, but I do have, you introduce a bill and it's alive for 2 years. It's in the biennium. Mm-hmm. So we do have the policy year coming up. And I feel like, both sides, the House Republicans and Democrats, are now a little bit more comfortable with the dynamics of the House and a tied House. And so I do have confidence that we'll be able to restart it up again. But it is my goal to get it passed next session. So
this is between you and I. Do you really feel that way? Because I don't anymore. As I look what's going on, and again, we had the deal, was it yesterday or Friday, when the governor shut down the Minnesota Stability Housing thing completely, because it is going so far off the rails, we can't even fix the problem, just stop it. Today's paper really glossed over an interesting one to me. They're talking about, they put a block on the addiction treatment, people living in the houses of the people getting, there was no anti-kickback in our bill that the federal government had. When you read the paper, it seems like we just really did a bad thing to these poor people. We didn't. People took advantage of it. We put money to save these folks, and somebody found a way around it. This one, folks, if you don't remember, basically you could go to this treatment facility. They could meet with you for just over half an hour and charge the rest of us an hour. And if they did that enough, they could offer Joe, I'm addicted guy, housing, because they were overcharging enough to pay for the housing because, hey, Joe, we saw you 7 times this week. And Joe's like, I only remember seeing you once. Don't worry about it, Joe. So there was no safeguards. And it's just another way we got robbed, trying to do the right thing. But the paper article, you read that today and you're going to be like, why did we do that to them? At some point, it's got to stop. This is why we need Office of Inspector General. But here, you tell me, Heather, because obviously on the Senate side, 6 of you wanted this thing done. Why is it on the House side, half of those people seem to be okay with this kind of it isn't even fraud. It is literally just walk up to the bank and take our money. It's that easy.
Yeah.
Why are they like that?
I think, well, first of all, I don't think that everybody over there hates fraud, right? So I want to make that clear, but I will say that there is a preference sometimes to keep things done internally versus an inspector general, which is independent. And I think which side I'm on, right? I think we need an independent oversight authority that is free from politics and agencies. It needs to just be its own office. This is their goal, and they work for us, and that is it.
I will. I will try to say this as easy as possible. The reason we're told is because this would cost $9 million over 2 years. I don't know how you get there. You take the OIG from all the others, movement. You got some move. I don't care.
Well,
$9 million.
Well, and that's me getting it down. So when we started out the bill, it was over 11. I got it down to 8.6, 8.3, I think, in each year.
This isn't my problem. Let it be $9 million. You just passed the $66 billion budget, and you won't spend $9 million to make sure it's spent correctly. That's crazy. But you say people don't want fraud. I have to disagree with you. I do. The stuff with that they just closed down on Friday. This was so easy and rampant and so egregious that there was no safeguards whatsoever in it, that I can't believe somebody knew it, wanted it. Housing stability, for folks who didn't know, and this is Medicaid. I don't have a clue why it's under Medicaid. Medicaid to me is you got to pay for your doctor and your medicine, but okay, it's housing.
Yeah.
I could go to Heather and say, Heather, I hear you're on the streets. Life is tough. Yes, it is. I could send your name in and say, I talked to you for 150 hours, get $70 an hour to do it, and I don't even have to get you off of homelessness. I just have to say we talked. Mm-hmm. Heather, you and I'd love to talk with you for 150 hours, but I got to be honest, if we had one subject, all we could talk about is we'd run out. You can't do 150 hours, but we paid them for it. That's what I mean. Somebody doesn't care. Put the money in it, let it go. Here's the one I would also say. I don't know if you need an OIG if we start firing the people in charge when they see fraud. I don't know the guy or girl who ran that program. It started in 2019 at $2.6 million. Mm-hmm. 4 years later, it's $107 million. 40 times bigger. Did we have a 40 time more homeless person problem than we thought? And we should discuss it if it is. How many got housing? Because 4 years later, it's worth 5 times as much. And we still got the same amount of homeless people? No, just send me the money and I'll help spend it. How is that? And I don't know this person. How do you justify going to bed at night thinking, I got another 50 mil, hon. They're going to give me some more money to spend. I don't even get it. You work for us. Does that make sense? You're smiling at me. You're making me mad because I think I might be. No, I
think what you're saying and what I'm saying are exactly what everybody else is saying in their neighborhood, wherever they live in Minnesota, because everybody is frustrated and they're fed up. With tax dollars go out the door, and we need some accountability for them. I could not agree with you more.
Good. Thank you for that, because I'm not trying to be mean, but it falls. No. Here's one that's going to really tee you off, because again, I'm talking about John Hoffman. He's a friend of both of ours. Gets shot. His wife gets shot. His daughter's there traumatized. And they even talk about the Hortmans and the deaths, and you can't even compare them. All this goes on, and 6 weeks later. And we're talking about putting in better security at the Capitol and this and that. We just put $250 million into that place. Yeah. And naked guy shows up in the Senate, sitting there saying he's the governor, and he got in with a door wedge. I have one in my hands for peeling the. We get him for $1.50 at the Walmart. Yeah. This cannot. And here's my point. And I met the state police guys. I understand those, all nice guys. No, someone's not doing their job. This cannot be. You get my point. This isn't a Mission Impossible movie where they put 12 and a half hours with the brightest minds coming up how to break our security. Homeless guy put a wedge in the door. Well, I think it's Go ahead.
It's another example of where you assume a level of security that is there that is just not there, and so. We now know a door wedge is what got him at least into the building. I don't know with the chamber. But you're right. This comes after June 14th, where we thought safeguards were in place to alert us if a violent threat was happening against legislators. And that also wasn't there either. So I have formally requested an investigation be done by the OLA, Office of Legislative Auditor, to make sure that we have a thorough account of both the timeline of how people were notified and when on June 14th and our Capitol security at the building. Now, there is a committee that's already going to be meeting on August 20th that is going to go through this as well.
The same group
that to know what was going to happen.
The same group that some TV station found out weren't meeting 4 times a year like they're supposed to, right? They're this group.
Right.
And I get it. Nothing's happened for a million years. You get bored. What are we going to go sit and talk to each other some more? I get it. But somebody's whole job, and I presume, is to wander around the Capitol, checking the doors at closing time. I mean, really? So, how do I put it? You are so nice to cut these people slack.
Yeah.
At some point, I need to have someone get fired. If it's in this office or this office or this office. John Hoffman got shot, and this was not due to the guys at the Capitol.
Right.
If you don't perk your ears up and you're in security and say, what are we doing right or wrong here? And again, if the board gets together or not, what are we doing? Because guess what? Knuckleheads are in the world. That guy who shot John Hoffman, he's off bubble. I know these are bad people in the health care industry are going to think I'm nuts. He's off bubble. But he had time to plan and do some things and get ready. What if the next guy's not an idiot? What if this guy's just a mean, terrible human and he can take the time and he goes, oh, I can get a stopper like that. We have to make it harder. And we have to have our best stopping it. So you guys, I can trust you're going to go to work and you're going to be safe. I don't know how you feel that way. I don't know how you can get there. If this is the answer, it's terrible. Anyway, I'm really upset. We'll talk more in a minute.
I agree. I mean, you shouldn't be worried about your physical safety when you're just trying to do your job. And that goes for everybody who works at the Capitol. It also goes for every single school group that is walking around touring that building. Are they, and so it isn't just about politicians, or it's also the staff that works there. And it's also these like kids and tour groups. It's something has to change. What we have is not enough.
Yeah. Well, what we have is nothing. This is a wet paper bag technology we got going here. We don't need infrared laser beams. I'm not looking for that. Yeah. But don't tell me that or a piece of duct tape gets me in after hours. That's crazy. We'll go on. I know I'm going to get in trouble for this. I'm sorry. I'm just a little mad because you guys are my friends, and I can't believe that you have to go there like that. We'll be back after this. More stuff to make you mad with Heather Gustafson on The Al Travis Show.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc. Midwest Money Management and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
Dust from livestock buildings can be harmful to your animals and to you. Coughing animals can lead to costly vet visits and other serious health problems. Now there's an environmentally safe solution for your dust problems. It's called Dust Lock. Dust Lock can control the dust all summer long with just one application. Protect your animals and your health with Dust Lock. Learn more at dustlock.com.
kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS SHOW.
Love having her on, getting her opinion. She is Senator Heather Gustafson on the Al Travis Show. Senator, interesting thing that came out here the other day. Evidently, the federal government has asked all states to hand over their voting records so that they can go through them. Our Secretary of State Simon said, nah, appreciate you, aren't going to do it. First off, your initial thoughts on that. Why not? Any thoughts?
If he doesn't have a legal reason to turn them over, then he shouldn't have to turn them over. Also, why do they want to harvest all of our voter data? Why do they want it to, why do they need to know? Why does this federal government need to know every single thing about us? They have our data. They want everything that is what Elon Musk did for like the first month he was over there. Why do they need to know everything about everybody? It's wild. And I don't understand why more people are outraged that the federal government wants so much of our personal information. I think that's crazy.
What is it that they don't have? And here's, so a guest who's going to come on even later sent me, Tom Hauser was on At Issue. What was the name of the program? Whatever, his Sunday program, and had Simon on. So she asked that I watch it. I sat down and watched this thing. I want to be as informed as I can. He said basically what you said. Why should they have it? No real reason to give it to them. It was a request. It isn't a lawful order. Right. But he said because, like, the Democratic Republican Party in the state can ask for this information. You just fill a FOIA request, and they fill it out, and they give it to you. But there's extra stuff that they don't give out to people. And he mentioned Social Security numbers, military status, and driver's licenses. And he doesn't want the federal government to have those. So I wrote them down. Because here's a couple of things. You say, what we don't want the federal government. Why does the federal government need all that? The federal government in 1964 gave me my Social Security number. They know it. This isn't this will not be the government's big insight into my life because it's Social Security number. Military service. If you go in, they know it. Al, 1983, they know it. This is not a secret to the federal government. The only one that he listed that seemed interesting to me was the driver's licenses. Because that is a Minnesota thing. It's a Minnesota's driver's license. Why does the federal government need it? But this is the same Minnesota state government that made us go get the real licenses, right? I just did this like 4 months ago. I got to bring one animal that is mine. I had to bring my neighbor to prove that I live next door, and I had to bring 5 bills and then my birth certificate and all that. It was, and then a blood test. They now have a gallon of my blood to make sure it's me. It was the craziest thing to get this ID. So my point is, they have every bit of that info. We in Minnesota said, well, you got to go down that road. They have it. Nothing that he mentioned is something they don't already have. And here's my point to you quick. You know when you watch people go talk in front of Congress and they take the fifth? It's their right. You got the right to do it. You bet. I am not, but doesn't prove you're guilty, but it makes you look guilty, right? I mean, you take it 25 times like he doesn't want to say something. This is the same thing. Simon tells us we have the best voter rolls ever. This is clean. And maybe we do. You don't know that. He says it. I don't know it. My point being is, if you did, give them to the government. Again, all the information that you're telling me is open to the public and the government has it. Give it to them. Then when Donald Trump comes back and says, couldn't find nothing, then you do have the greatest. My point is, by being verified by an independent company. Now, you don't think Trump's independent. I get it. But you get somebody else to take a look and then say, guess what? Because the Social Security number gets me. Why does the government want that? Why do we hold it? Is there the possibility somebody might be using that same Social Security number more than once? And that's what I think the federal government wants in. Let's let somebody take a look. I'm concerned that if we're that scared. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just astonished at all of my small government Republican friends who want to just literally give all the control over to the federal government. I can't understand it.
And
I am all of that information. Why do they need to collect it again?
Because I think they need to see is in Minnesota and it's the driver's license things. We gave out driver's license to everybody now. This isn't you have to be a citizen anymore. It is. Now in Minnesota can say
so that you can drive. That's all that will be though. Just so you know.
And that's what it's supposed to be. Agreed 100%. Same thing, like only one Social Security number for everybody. Sometimes they share them. Sometimes we use more than one. My point is, the Minnesota driver's license, we can say in Minnesota, you want to vote for Minnesota people, go ahead. You have a license, you can vote. You can't vote federally, but once you're in the box, are you just skipping the first 2 lines? We don't know. We don't give them a separate ballot. I think to cross-check that there's no harm in it. We already got a group that does it. Let them run it. I presume this is nothing more than a computer scan. Check all the same addresses, check same social security numbers, and if we see 25 guys with the same address, we might look into it. I'm not opposed to it. I'm a small guy, but I am trusting Simon. I've met him a couple times, nice guy. But the three things he threw out there, the only one he's hiding behind is the driver's license. The federal government's got all the rest. And that seemed ishy. I'm not saying he's lying at all, but small guy, you bet. But I don't understand trust but verify is a problem for my
I think the problem, though,
friends.
is that, because we do a driver's license for everybody, and everybody is, I don't know. If you want to go fishing, you have to have a license too. A driver's license for
Not
whether you're documented, undocumented, new American, been here forever, doesn't really matter. It's just a license to drive. But the thing that I think we're seeing with Trump is that he would love to be able to find a record base, maybe, of people who are here either undocumented or they're in the process of becoming citizens. He wants that list. So,
I don't disagree, but again, it's about voter. I got to fly. We're out of time. Appreciate you. Heather Gustafson on the Al Travis Show.